broadcast on FM 96.7 locally and is heard worldwide on fitfmja.com. Our mission is to amplify diverse voices and opinions, inform, educate, entertain, and engage listeners of all ages and lifestyle while promoting responsible community development. Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music.
Are you struggling with loneliness? Feeling depressed? Are you searching for a purpose to live? Are you ready to tap into your inner greatness? Ready to soar to your full potential? Come and be inspired. Join me, Dr. Asha Mwendo, on Healing Moment inside Gospel and Soul every Wednesday, 6 p.m., where we will help you to understand your purpose. We will help you to find your wind. We'll show you how to open your wings and fly. Healing Moments, Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music. Good evening, my peeps. How are you this evening? It's your girl, Dr. Asha Mwendo, on Healing Moments on Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music. It's good to have you with us this evening from wherever you are. Jamaica, on the continent of Africa, wherever you are, in the US, in the Caribbean, in Europe. We are saying to you, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Healing Moment. And you know that we always want you to be part of the conversation with us. So you can link us up on 876-478-9144 or 876-317-1991. And as usual, Healing Moment stand and continue to call for elimination of violence against our women and our girls. This evening, my guest will be no stranger to you. She's Carleen Street, and we will link her up a little later. We'll be talking about guided by purpose, living the way God has called you. And so we have much to talk about. But you know the drill already. You're going to get your pen, get your sip, tell a friend, listen to this bit of music until we come right back.
Oh, plead my cause, O Lord, with them that strive with me. Fight against them that fight against me. Take hold of shield and buckler, and stand up for mine help. Draw out also the spear, and stop the way against them that persecute me.
All glory be to the Almighty, yeah. Lord, watch over us tonight. Protect my family. In a time like this, we ask for mercy. Watch me in my going out and in my coming in. Good Lord, please tell me why they don't want me to win. Because the enemies are after me. Don't let them conquer me. Show me what my eyes can't see, so they won't conquer me. Jaja, as long as I live, oh, bless me, Lord. Let them be as chaff before the wind. I know you can put them to shame. Put them to shame, the ones who want to cause me pain. Forgive them cause they don't know, and I pray for them the same. Father, this is why I call upon your name. For the enemy surrounding me, don't let them conquer me. Show me what my eyes can see, so they won't conquer me. Jaja, as long as I live, oh, bless me, Lord. When I lay me down to sleep, I pray my soul to keep. Cover me under your wings. I need you now more than ever. I can't do it by myself. I'm weak and tired and surely need your help. Cause the enemy is surrounding me. Don't let them conquer me. Show me what my eyes can see. Don't let them conquer me. Jaja, as long as I live, oh, bless me, Lord.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. No enemy can conquer around here, and we know that. That's true.
Same,
Yeah,
bro.
man. All we do is trust Jah, and all will be well. Okay. So, we normally do our Let's Talk session before we bring on our guests. And for this week, I'm looking at so much things are happening around us at this time. COVID-19 numbers are not looking good. They're going up. And so we need to take control and make sure we bring the numbers back down again. Then we hear that there's monkeypox on the horizon. Monkeypox is not really new. It is new to us this side of the world. And it is new that it is jumping from human to human in such a rapid way. And we know in Jamaica, we have to be careful because anytime Europe and America start to catch cold, we start to sneeze. And so we have to start looking out and protecting ourselves. And for the rest of the world, start doing what they need to do to protect themselves. The Ministry of Health will be hosting a virtual webinar where the experts will explain the virus and answer questions tomorrow, Thursday, May 26th at 12:30 p.m. It's online. It is going to be virtual as I said. So go check out the Ministry of Health website and get informed. And in Jamaica today is Africa Day at the schools. I was fortunate to share in Jamaica Day with the children and teachers at the Falmouth All Age, and we had a good morning, and I'm quite sure the afternoon was equally wonderful, but I couldn't stay for the afternoons. My afternoons on Wednesdays are a bit busy, so I couldn't stay for the afternoon, but I did the morning with them, and I enjoyed myself, and I got the chance to talk about Ghana and stuff, so it was a wonderful experience. I enjoyed it a lot. Now we know the time. The next thing I want to talk about, so I wanted to listen up here. The time is getting extremely warm. And as some persons will say, it's not warm, it's hot. And every year across the world, we have persons who die from heat stroke or from dehydration in many countries, right? And we don't want that to happen this year. So we are asking you to protect yourself. So drink plenty of water. But I'm going to tell you, it's best to drink your water 3 to 4 sips at a time. Don't drink a lot of gulping, because that passes through the system quickly and is not absorbed in the system and not used up wisely. So don't drink a lot, but drink it wisely as well. 3 to 4 gulps at a time, and then you rest, and then you drink some more again. And always carry your water with you, because you might go somewhere, you start to feel thirsty, you start to feel dehydrated, and you cannot get potable water at that time. So always walk with your water. And having it will also remind you to drink. Stay out of the sun between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. So get your sun early in the morning, because I do want you to get your bit of sunshine to build up your vitamin D. But you're going to make sure you do that early in the morning and before 11 o'clock in the day. And then you stay out of the sun as much as possible between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. Right? And I want you to try to do that every day. Eat a lot of fruits, watery, cool fruits. That will, especially like with watermelon, it will keep you cool and help you to rehydrate as well. Wear light fabrics. So don't wear a lot of thick clothes during the day. Light fabrics, example like cotton-based fabrics, long sleeve if you have to be out in the sun, because it protects the skin from direct sunlight and the UV rays. And I'm going to say, a lot of persons will also tell you to use your sunblocks and all of that. I don't necessarily tell people to use sunblock, but if you know you have that kind of a skin, do it. But if you're eating right and having a balanced diet, having your vitamin D level high, rich in antioxidants in your system, so you must get your muscadine, right? And so if your system is really working properly, you really don't need the sunblock, because the sunblock in and of itself sometimes have things in them that is absorbed into your body that is harmful too. So, if you have to use it, but treat yourself well, use up the aloe vera on your skin and you will be all right. Reduce or refrain from using alcoholic and caffeinated beverages, because that also dehydrates the body. Reduce your salt intake and get most of your protein from your garden. You will find in this time of the year, when you eat a lot of heavy meats, you feel more lethargic and tired, because that animal protein tends to work hard on the system in the heat. So it's better to have your fruits and vegetables as from your protein from that base. The garden can't go wrong, God made it for us. Don't leave anyone locked up in parked vehicles, especially our children and senior citizens. Do not leave them locked up in parked vehicle. Avoid physical exertion during the hottest time of the day. So do your workouts early in the morning or late in the afternoon and evening. That is better for you. Take cool baths and showers. Especially in the evenings, it's nice to take a cool shower before you lay down. You will sleep better. And do not shower immediately after stepping out of the sun. So you come in and you're hot and you really feel like you need to cool down. Do not step into the shower that quickly. Give the body some time to cool down and acclimatize. Drink something. And I'm going to tell you something strange. But when you get home and you want to cool down quickly, have a warm drink. Have a warm drink, because that will stimulate the body's homeostasis to step in and cool itself down. Right? So you can have a warm drink. Notice I didn't say hot drink. I said a warm drink, because nothing too hot is really too good for the stomach, especially that time of the day, right? So for you, let's talk as well. Remember, the farmers market at Amifi tell you in Runaway Bay with Jennifer. So you call Jennifer at 876-853-4455. If you want boot space or you want more information, you call Jennifer. Dave Gale is still doing the outreach in Westmoreland, helping to build housing for the family, the blind women that he's building this house for. And we're at the space now where we're putting in, we want to put in windows and cut on the roof. And we still need your sponsorship. We still need your support. So you can call me if you want to contribute, or you can contact Dave Gale on any of the social media platforms. And he also still have CDs selling. CDs are only 1,000 Jamaican dollars. So if you want to contribute by buying a CD, that is also appreciated. And right here in Trelawney as well, the Trelawney Library Advocacy Committee, chaired by me, we are putting on for this month under the almond tree again, and we are this year time we are looking at Jamaica 60 years on and our children. You know how it impacts our children, what is happening for our children. We will have guests from the CPFSA coming to speak with us, and our own Felicia Ricketts Graham will be coming on as well. She's a principal for Western STEM Academy. We promise to have a wonderful time. It's going to happen on May 31st. That's Tuesday, May 31st, next week at 4 p.m. It will be virtual. So link us up to get your login codes that you can listen in and see what has happened to our children, what are the laws we now have to protect our kids, and hear from a principal who have gone through the system, who have come up on the real rough side of the mountain. Sometimes she's coming up on the smooth side, can't find anywhere to grip, but the Lord had took her up. She's now now an educator at the top level of the game, and she'll also be speaking with us and informing us about how we best serve our children as we allow their voices to be heard. So that is it for my Let's Talk this evening. And so we're going to give you a little bit of music again, and then I'll be introducing my wonderful guests to you.
Keep lifting my spirit, oh God, you keep pulling me closer. Renewing my mind, controlling my thoughts, Jesus, take over. Please don't leave me, cause the things of this world will deceive me. Help me to see your purpose for me. God, in you I believe. Jesus, take me through the fire. Holy Spirit, just work through me. It is you that I desire. I wanna hear your words, God, speak to me. See it and I can't have the youth, yeah. Me a step with the word that plus me focus on God agenda. Stay calm down, yeah, your mother. Me a blazing fire. I see it on the fire. I see it to the top of spilling that it won't can't have the youth, yeah. Jesus, take me through the fire. Holy Spirit, just work through me. It's you that I desire. I wanna hear your voice, Lord, speak. But I face so much temptation.
Welcome back. So as I told you before, my guest this evening is no stranger to Fit FM. A matter of fact, we call her family around here. And so our sister this evening is Miss Carleen Street. And she's coming to talk with us. But I'm not going to tell anything about her, you know. Oh, I'm going to tell you one little thing before she come on. I think she's single. I'm not so sure. She will answer that when the time comes, right? Carleen, how are you? Are you hearing me? Lady Carleen? I see that your internet is giving you a little challenge, but we know you are there. We're seeing you. You're a little frozen. Are you hearing us? Okay, so we have just lost our guest. She will come right back, I'm quite sure. She's having a little internet challenge, and she was sitting down there quite patiently, waiting on me to bring her on. And as I'm bringing her on, the system is going down. So we're going to give her a little bit of music again, and we try to give her a little time to reconnect. We know how this system goes already.
Keep lifting my spirit, oh God, you keep pulling me closer. Renewing my mind, controlling my thoughts, Jesus, take over. Please don't leave me, cause the things of this world will deceive me. Help me to see your purpose for me. God, in you I believe. Jesus, take me through the fire. Holy Spirit, just work through me. Satan no can't stop the youth, yeah. Me a step with the word of God, plus me focus on God agenda. Stay calm down, yeah, your mother. Me a blazing fire. I Satan empire. I Satan attack what's me linger the doing chat on the youth, yeah. Jesus, take me through the fire. Holy Spirit, just work through me. It's you that I desire. I wanna hear your voice, Lord, speak. But I face so much temptation, but I trust in you. Trust in you. Nothing in this world can stop me from serving you. Serving you. Me no see who can top me. Remember, say Jesus fuck me. Then I what that you a sprinkle right the sun. That can't stop me. Remember me covered by the hands of Almighty God. So do anything you want to do. Jesus, Jesus, take me through the fire. Holy Spirit, just work through me. It's you that I desire. I wanna hear your voice, God, speak to me. Jesus, take me through the fire. Holy Spirit, just work through me. It's you that I desire. I wanna hear your voice, God, speak to me. Jesus, take me through the fire. Holy Spirit, just work through me. It's you that I desire. I wanna hear your voice, God, speak to me.
Okay, our guest is still having some challenges coming on. She said she's having bad weather where she is, but she's still trying to reconnect. So we're giving her a few more minutes before we decide to move on if we don't get her. So let's give her a few more minutes, Miss Julia, and then we will see where we go from. She's starting to move, so I think we're getting her back. Are you hearing us, Carlene? Yeah, the weather. We have that challenge here sometimes as well. Are you hearing us, Carlene? You're not hearing us, right? We're seeing you now, but we're still not connecting with you. She's gone again. All right, we're going to play the music, a little more music, and then if we don't get her back again, we will move on. These things do happen. Technology.
I face so much temptation, but I trust in you. Trust in you. Nothing in this world can stop me from serving you. Serving you. Me no see who can top me. Remember, say Jesus fuck me. Then I what that you a sprinkle right the sun. That can't stop me. Remember me covered by the hands of Almighty God. So do anything you want to do. Jesus, take me through the fire. Holy Spirit, just work through me. It's you that I desire. I wanna hear your voice, God, speak to me. Jesus, take me through the fire. Holy Spirit, just work through me. It's you that I desire. I wanna hear your voice, God, speak to me. Jesus, take me through the fire. Holy Spirit, just work through me. It's you that I desire. I wanna hear your voice, God, speak to me.
Okay, our guest is still having challenges coming on. We're not writing her off as yet. We're gonna hope she will get back on. But in the meantime, as they say, the show must go on, right? So we're going to talk a little bit about some of the things that are happening right here with us. If you are listening to us, remember you can send in your messages, your questions to us at 876-317-1991 or 876-478-9144. if you want to participate in the program, just link us up and let us know. You're listening to Dr. Asha Mwenda on Healing Moments on Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music, right? So today in Jamaica, we celebrated Africa Day, and this is something that means a lot to me as our ancestral home. And as we were talking to the children today, we reminded them the common thing, and I hope all Jamaicans will realize what we're talking about and join in saying the same thing, in that we like to say the slaves come to Jamaica, and when we speak of our ancestors, we only speak of slavery and all of that, and we speak of our ancestors in the time of slavery. So Carlene, you're back.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, my dear. Awesome.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Dr. Asher, for having me. Sorry for that little.
It's our pleasure to have you, as usual, my friend. And so this evening, I reached at the place to tell you now that you need to tell the people who you are. So who is Carlene?
Who is Carlene? That is such a great question. Sometimes I wonder who I am myself. But to tell you whose I am and what my journey has been like, let me just say I am the third child of 5 children. Puts me right smack in the middle. Born to Raymond and Lorna Street in the beautiful parish of Hanover. Hopewell, to be exact. Big up yourself, Aunt Joyce. Moved to Montego Bay at the age of 2 years old. Went to North Gully Basic School, then to Chetwood Memorial, and eventually to the Harvard of the West, Herbert Marson Comprehensive High School, which is now Herbert Marson Technical High School. The Herbert Marson, yes. Walked into Herbert Marson, boy, a little chicken foot, scrawny little shy girl, and I came out so proud. I was head girl of my year. That is an achievement that I hold dear. So if you hear me say it more than once, it's because it's like really, really special to me. And it is an achievement that I carry with me with pride. I moved from Montego Bay to Canada, actually. Lived there for 5 years before migrating to the United States. Got to New York, didn't like it much. And so I moved to Georgia, where I raised my 2 handsome men. And that's me in a nutshell.
Yes. So I am glad you took us straight from birth to US, Georgia, and sons. So we get that out of the way. So we know you're a mom of adult children.
Yes, ma'am.
And so we get that out of the way. We hope by the end of the program, we'll know if you're single and ready to mingle, single not available, or. So by the end of the show, we intend to find that out, right? And
well, how about we begin that? Dr. Asher, how about we let your guests, your audience decide? Tell them
so that's
to
what
send
I want to say to my listeners. That you can send in and tell me what you think her status is. So remember now, you send that in to me on 876-317-1991 or 876-478-9144. Julia, you're not allowed to vote.
Right?
You will tell me what the answers you get, but you are not allowed to vote, Madam Julia. Right. So, and I have told her she can't vote. Right.
Thank you.
So I know you're an entrepreneur. So tell me a little bit on your journey to entrepreneurship. And I want to know if you're an entrepreneur by default or by choice.
Let me just say this. Yes, I am an entrepreneur by default. It's just something that I have been fighting. It's one of those things where my career found me. Right? It chose me. It's something that, first of all, this career that I have is one of those classes. Hey, Mom, it's one of those classes that I just call it school straight. I did not go to that class because I didn't like it. I did not like that class. And it was my accounting class. As a matter of fact, it was the only class that I failed when I took my CXC exams. And so I came back with a vengeance. I don't like when stuff get the better of me. And so I came back with a vengeance. I said, I'm going to beat this. And I actually took it again and I passed. And this time I realized that I have such a love for numbers. I just love numbers. And so I started working in the field of accounting. And then I gravitate towards taxation for some reason. I just gravitate towards taxation. I loved it. I loved it. It's one of the classes that I took when I went to Canada during my curriculum. And I always just get like student of the month. So it's one of those things that found me. I never thought that I would be working in the field of accounting, let alone taxation. But again, it's something, like I said, that found me. I love it. I tried to move away from it, so much so that if you remember, I became a host on right here on Fit FM, trying to just move away from that and meeting people. I always say I'm such a people person. I want to be out there. I want to be meeting people and just not stuck behind a desk pushing papers. But every time I try to leave, it just keeps calling me back. So here I am. I have accepted my calling. I'm doing very well in it. I am now the proud CEO and founder of Streets Tax and Consulting Services, LLC. So there you have it.
Awesome. And so that is it, sometimes we know where we want to go. We know what we want to do. And then sometimes our purpose have to shout at us. Sometimes God has to shout at us real hard for us to hear him. And then some of us, we are living our realities that the Lord has put in our way. And our purpose is find us. Me being here at Fit FM is one of those things. I am not one of the persons who can say I am on air now, and it was my long vision to become a radio host. It wasn't so. It found me, and I am enjoying the journey as well. So I do understand. So on one hand, you are an entrepreneur. You're running your own business, and you're doing that very well. And you say you're enjoying it as well. And it shows on your face that you are having fun and not working at all. I might have to wrap you on the knuckles. Right. But then I also know that you're a philanthropist. Tell us a little bit about that.
Something I did not even know I was until you said I was. I had to go look that word up to be honest. I said, who's she talking to? I know she's not talking to philanthropist. Who? But then when I read the definition of it, I said, that is so me. I don't know about the giving generous part of it, but that is so me. I love to give and I enjoy giving to worthy causes. And that started as a child. I watched my parents. I did not even know that I was poor, but we grew up poor. We lived in a poor neighborhood, and my home is actually where people would come. That little white chip mug, the enamel mug that they have in a chip. People would actually come to my home for a little sugar, a little oil, a little salt, whatever it is that they needed. So I didn't know that I was poor, but I always see my parents giving without question, without complaint. They would just give. And so watching them and seeing the joy that they got from just giving little things, I said, that is something that I want to do. I didn't really set out intentionally to do it, but it just comes so natural to me. You tell me a problem, I want to solve it. And it's not always about money. It's not always about giving money. It could be a smile. It could be advice. It could be, just helping somebody to fill out a form, whatever it is. But I am just a giver at my core.
Amen. You sound a little bit like me. I keep on saying to persons, I am a giver first and then everything else afterwards, because we give according to how the Lord has called us. But Caroline, as I'm talking with you, something comes into my mind, and I am a giver and I can't do otherwise. That's what the Lord has called me to do. However, I know people normally say they give without expectations. Are you the type of person that gives without expectations? I want to know the kind I am.
Oh, yes. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I never give without expectations, because one of the things I say as I give is, God, please continue to bless me so I may be a blessing to others. You have to ask for something. Even God himself asks you for something before, he asked you. He said, seek and you will find. You can't, there's always an action. He's always having an expectation. I am no different. I do have an expectation whenever I give. I don't necessarily want the people that I give to give back to me, but I do expect them to pay it forward. And that's an expectation.
Yes, because I was saying to someone recently that I don't give without expectations, because I live from the policy that God has a lot to give, but if I don't reach out for it or I don't affirm myself to receive it, I won't. So I give with expectations. I give with the expectation that God is going to bless my hand in what he gives to me in return, that I can continue to give. Because if he don't put into my cup have nothing to overflow, and I have nothing to give anybody. And even though we say we give out of our nothing, that is really kind of not true. What we give out of our little, because you can't give nothing from nothing leaves nothing. So we give from our little, and some, if the Lord don't provide with a little bit or sometimes a little surplus, we don't have anything to give. So I always give with a hope and a desire that I will be blessed from my giving. And,
yes, ma'am.
Right. And as you said, I don't expect those who I give to give back to me. But I take the passage of the Bible that says, cast your bread upon the waters, and it shall return to you in many days. I take it seriously. When I give, I'm casting my bread upon the water. When I support a cause, I'm casting my bread upon the water. And I am hoping too that as I create fishers, they in turn will teach others to fish for themselves as well. And so therefore it will continue to play forward. I like to be a ripple or a stone in the water that create ripples of love and grace. So I expect. So I'm glad I'm not the only one that give with expectation or is willing to say that I give with expectations. Because some persons say don't expect anything, and then the person walk off and don't even say thanks and then vex. So if it's even thanks they were expecting, right? I have moved on. I don't expect thank you nor anything from the people I give it to per se, more than I hope that they will one day give forward. But I do expect something from God. So I'm glad you are agreeing with me as well.
Yes.
I am glad you are agreeing with me. So let's continue to talk a little bit about your giving. Sorry for sidetracking and talking about expectations. It come into my heart. We have spoken about, I couldn't leave without continuing that part of it. So in your giving and your philanthropy, as you said, you learned that you're now a philanthropist. And so, and as we pointed out in our conversation, is you can't be a philanthropist without being a humanitarian as well.
Right.
Because they kind of go hand in hand. You care about humanity. But talk to us a little bit about, Carleen, your work in volunteerism, how it benefits you, how it benefits others. And just speak to our hearts. Just talk to us. You have the world listening to you.
I am waiting to know how it benefits others, Dr. Asher, but I'll tell you this much. The joy that I get from giving, it just continuously pours out of me. It's just joy. It's just sheer joy. It's nothing. I wish I had a story for you, but it's just something that obviously God has instilled in me because it is flowing from a place that I have no idea where it come from. Yes, I see my parents giving, but I know give beyond measure. You can just call me, for example, you were hosting a women's seminar in Montego Bay, and you said, I just happened to listen to the program that day, and you were saying, if you can't attend, at least sponsor a woman. And the light bulb just came on, and I'm like, I want to do that. I want to do that because it is such a worthy cause. Mm-hmm. Everybody has a story, but not everybody's story is true. So what I try to do is make sure that where I give and the causes that I give to, the foundations that I give to, are those that can use my assistance in whatever form. It doesn't necessarily have to be money, but if I can show up somewhere, if I can show up at a marathon and hand you up bottles of water, that's what I'm going to do. It just comes from a place that is so beyond and above myself, who I am as a person. And quite frankly, though, I think that's who we are, though. We are spiritual beings having human experiences, and so it's just one experience after another. And I choose it is a choice that I make to be this way.
I like
hope
that.
that
I
answers
like
your
that.
question. It just comes from a place I didn't set out to do it, but it's not out of abundance that I give. It's out of obedience that I give.
Oh, I like that. Not of abundance, but of obedience. And that is it. We are compelled by God to do, and some of us obey when he compels us to do. The widow's mite was heard in heaven. The widow's mite was counted in heaven. When she dropped it
Absolutely.
into the plate, the entire universe heard the widow's mite. And I'm quite sure that others gave much, much more than she did. And they gave out of their abundance, and it wasn't heard. The widow's mite was heard. It made a difference. And why it makes a difference? Because she gave all she had. She gave from her nothing, her little bit, to others. And that is what we are called to do. I see Monday gone, this Monday, or Labor Day, I went to my alma mater. And a number of sisters, we went and we gave back. We gave back. We served breakfast to all the children who were taking exams that day. And we are going to continue doing it for the entire period of the exams. I even hear that on Friday is going to be a hectic day because we have 77 mouths to feed on that day. And we will continue to do that. And it's amazing when persons will say back to you, I am because you have given. I just yesterday spoke to a young man who contacted me, and he just simply called me and he told me who he was, and he said, why you're calling? I said, but I'm sure you're going to tell me. And he said, do you have anybody who needs help? A young man who needs help. I want to help somebody. So I said, why do you want to do that? And he said, because I was fed, I can feed others. And he said, this is his way of telling me thanks for helping him when he needed the help the most. And now he feels like paying it forward. Of course, I had a young man ready for him. Ready. And if he wanted a girl, I could have given him one too. But he wanted a young man to work with, and I respected that he wanted a young man to work with. I made the connections and the conversations are started, and he is not helping in any ordinary way. He wanted a young man who wanted to go back to further studies. And so he's helping a young man who is now going to go to university. They are working out the details. He had his application and everything, but he had no clue how he was going to move forward. Today, he has hope. And so they are going to work out the details of how we're going to provide support for him, which university he'll be accepted in, because he have applied to more than one. And then the journey will begin. But guess what? They went shopping today. They make sure the young man have nice clothes, lovely, more than one pairs of shoes, and he's sorting him out. So by time university comes up, him will, as we say in Commontalk, him trash and ready. He will be looking good. And that, he didn't give me anything. He didn't call me and ask me if I wanted $1, but I felt so good last night. I slept comfortably.
And you know what? That is also what I would love to speak to. That's what I would love to speak to as well, because people think that you have to give on a macro, what I call a macro level. But I enjoy giving on the micro level. For example, you talked about your alumni. I am so in love with my alumni. I am so in love with my alma mater, Herbert Morrison Technical High School, Comfort to the World. I am so in love with it that if it's not one thing for me, it's another. There was one year that I incorporate, I joined my Tri-State chapter alumni chapter, and we were giving back. We were paying school fees. We were, filling out examination forms. We were helping students to get into institutes of higher learning. And so we actually had one student at Herbert Morrison that we helped. She went to the Ukraine to study medicine, but of course, you know what happened there. So I think she's back home now. But now I have moved my interest from academics to sports. And I promise you, I feel like I'm about to adopt the entire football program at my alma mater because those young men are so passionate about the game. But nobody knows how they get to school. Nobody, all they see are these kids. They're playing the sport, they show up every day, and nobody knows how they get there. And that is where I come in. I am that person that says, hey, talk to me. How do you get there every day? You have fear, you have this, you have that. And if the answer is no, I'm mine. Anytime you need to get to practice, you let me know. You're mine. Nobody has to know. You know, and I didn't come on here to speak about what I do. I come here to encourage others and just to let people know that, listen, you don't have to do things on a large scale where people can see you. It's the little things that matters. It's those little things that you do. You know, we had an athlete, star athlete, and I saw on Facebook where they were saying that he needed some shoes because he doesn't have shoes and he has to train every day. This is what I like to hear. And that is where I jump into action. I don't necessarily need to be on the field with you or show up to your games or whatever, but I am that person in the background that is saying, if you have a need, if there's anything that is hindering you from getting to where you need to go for fulfilling your purpose, if I can help you to get there, let me know. That's what I want to do. It gives me joy just to watch somebody go from nothing to just get there and you know, fulfill their purpose, living their purpose, stepping into their purpose. That is exactly what I do. And that is what I love to do. And I'll do that until I die and encourage others to do the same.
Amen. You know, because for me, I know I understand the power of social media. I'm not dumb. I understand the power of when you tell people things on Facebook and YouTube and people gravitate and everybody says, oh, I'm giving 100 and I'm giving a 50. I understand the power of that. But I'll forever be the person that helps you to rise. I am comfortable to be your wind and allow you to fly into your own grace and your own journey and leave you with the rights to your story. I believe in giving people without taking away anything from them. I don't want to have to say, oh, you know, that boy that got school and him need some shoes and I'm going to put it on Facebook and I'm going to come and I'm going to count out the money on Facebook and give you. And I know that sells because people like to mind people's business and people like to be part of people's business. We know. I know it's a part of our nature. However, it's not my nature. And I say to persons, over the years, you might get $1 million in one day, but I will give $1 for 1,000,000 days. That's how I give. So even back to school, if I was to do back to school, the way the world does it, I could give 1,000 or 2,000 children. But that's not how I do it. Presently, I have 110 children going to school. It is challenging. It is hard. But how do I do it? We give a wraparound program for our back to school. So we don't have a school fair and give you some bags and some books and a cup of juice and a food, and then you have to fend for the entire year for yourself. We give you quietly, small amount of persons, 110 persons for this year. We give you your bag, your book, whatever your needs are. We help you to realize those needs. And then we help you for the entire year to ensure you stay in school. So we don't want you to be at home with a nice bag that we gave you and a nice books that we gave you, but you can't go to school because you have no lunch money or you have no fare. We are not into that. We are helping you to go to school and to stay in school. And that's what we do in our programs. So we also help the parents who need the help as well. So we help them to become self-sustainable. We use all the systems that are available. Heart has so many wonderful programs, even for persons who are very skilled but uncertified. Heart helps them. So what we do, we connect them to where they can be serviced. So we don't always give money, but we give the service that can help them to find their own money. And I don't mind doing this behind the scenes for the rest of my life. But I will never accept funding from anybody who tells me I must put it on social media. I must. Because I was doing this before social media became so popular. We're writing reports to our funders, and so therefore the funders were satisfied when they give their report to the people who they serve. And I don't mind giving reports to my funders. I will say to you, you want to give to Wellness in Motion, Wellness in Motion will come before the camera. We will take the picture with you, make everybody know you give us. But we're going to leave the people we serve with their pride. So we're not taking any
Exactly.
cameras with them.
Exactly.
In my program, we had persons who are HIV positive. Not one of them can come out and tell nobody, say, because of us, anybody was stigmatized them because we put them out there. When I give a child a bag and the child goes to school, only other people will know that the child get the bag from me is if the child tell them. Because I
Yeah.
don't brand the things I give to people's children. I leave them with their pride to tell their stories tomorrow of what happened to
But
them
Dr.
today.
Asha, even us as children, we couldn't have done that. Social media has just made such a major difference now. As children, we could not even go to school if we're hungry and say we're hungry. We didn't get any lunch money to come to school today
No.
because first and foremost, you don't air what's considered your dirty laundry in public. You suck it
Not
up, you
true.
go to school, and when you come home, you get some. Yeah, when you come home, you get some rice and butter and call it a day. So we're not in the business of publicizing everything that we do, either for ourselves or for others. But now I see young people going on social media, taking pictures of their bedroom and showing, oh, when it rains, water come in the room, you know, coming from the mud and all of this, and putting everything out there, and they're getting some assistance. And that's great. But what I want to say to those children, whenever you get these types of assistance, make something of yourself.
Amen.
Make it worth your while. Make it worth the people who are putting in the effort to do this. Because back in the day, let me tell you, partner, you know, partner, we call it Susa here in America, but a partner. My parents had 2 daughters in high school at the same time taking CXC. We never asked anybody for anything. We never begged nobody nothing. Partner sent us to school. So this kid, he's online saying, oh, this is where I sleep and water coming, and somebody just come along and say, hey, as of tomorrow, you don't have to sleep here anymore. And we're going to build a home for your mom. What are you doing with that? You better take that, make something of yourself, and pay that forward. We don't get that opportunity. We never got that opportunity, you know? So that's one thing I want to say to young people. When you're getting these help, you put your business on social media and you get assistance, make something of yourselves. I wish I had that. And that's why I do what I do.
To be honest, if the person who has the need comes and put it on Facebook, I don't pay them much mind in that. I will help if I can, but I don't look on them anyway. The ones I look at, I have a second guess about all the time is the ones who are now going to help somebody who nobody knew about. And then you have to tell everybody you're going to help the person. I have a problem with that. Or I don't know if I have a problem with it because I don't really make people business give me problems. However, I don't like it. And it's not something that I want to do. And maybe because I have been helping forever and I've helped persons with different kind of challenges, persons who are HIV positive, persons who have other health issues that they don't want the world to know about. And I know what it feels like when somebody give you something and then in our days, and then they have to tell everybody, so then give you don't feel so good. So sometimes they give you and you even ask for it because you might need it and you smile and nod, but inside you're being torn apart. And I believe that some of the persons who we help and put on social media and in the papers and all of that, when we help them, sometimes they take the help because they need it, but I believe sometimes it's tearing them apart on the inside. And we're also setting them up for other people to taunt them, because I tell you, children can be very unkind. Children can be very unkind to others because they don't know better. And as I say to persons, and our brains are not properly developed until we're about 25. When our brain is fully developed. So before that, we are not operating at our maximum. And so children will do things and they can't say, so what's wrong with that? You know, and they will hurt. So I try to help the persons who I help. I try to let them hurt as little from my helping. I want my helping to make their lives a little easier. However, though, Carlene, I don't know if you and I are the same thing. I will give, and I will give you of anything you need, but you must work for what you're getting. So if you're getting money to go to school, you have to go to school and you have to learn.
And
if
you have to get good grades too.
And you have to get good grades. And if I realize and you realize you're putting out everything, but the grades are not coming in, that means you have a challenge. Tell me, I will get your help. But don't take the little help you're getting that somebody else is in need of and play daddy house with it. You're going to come out of my program.
Okay.
You're going to come out of the program. Anyway, enough about me. So continue talking to us, Carlene. Talk to us about the different parts of your giving, the different impacts you want to create and have created and hope to create, and talk to people in the US who wants to give back to diaspora. People in the diaspora want to give back to their homes, not only to Jamaica, but you're in the diaspora to give back to the other Caribbean islands. Because let me tell you something. I like when you look into some communities and everybody house look good, because it bring up the price of the community. So therefore, whether it be Jamaica or any other Caribbean island or anywhere else where you are from that area and poverty exists, it is your responsibility to help to rise that area to rise, because its value goes up, and then whatever you have in that space values more. So talk to us about giving, continuity giving, and ways of how you have sought to give. I know you are not asking to tell details like who you give and all of that, but the whole general story around it, because I know you are somebody a little bit like me who is not going to tell in exact details that you built 10 house tree, whatever, but just share a little bit about giving, the purpose of giving, and I'm going to put a little trouble on your story now. And I know that people like to say you to give to your enemies and to those who hurt you. And some of you give it that coal of fire can heap upon their heads. But I will tell them another story about the coal of fire story. But tell us about helping those who are not even good people to us. They're not kind. Go ahead.
But they're the ones that we need to help. They need so much help. It's not just about helping them physically. It's becoming a friend to them too, and teaching them how they can be kind. I have spent numerous years, months with people who people think should not have associated myself with, because they're not good people. And show me a company, tell me who you are, that type of thing. But I sincerely believe that everybody has some good something to offer. It could change in somebody's life by just spending time with them, guiding them. And it could be an adult. It could be an adult. Hurt people hurt people. And so you spend time with that person and you can teach them how to be kind by your example. I don't know about I just volunteer my services most of the time, and I give to people who need my assistance most of the time. But to foundations, what I say is I have a tendency to seek people out and just find out who's in need of help, because I am a behind the scenes person. So I wouldn't find me at a foundation taking pictures and handing you a check. That is not me. But there are people who can't do that. There are people who, as my friend would say, me not get that anointing. And she says that whenever there is something that she just can't do, she just don't have the guts to do it. She said, no, me not do that, me not get the anointing. So if you don't get an anointing to go out there and seek out people who need assistance, give to a foundation. You have a cancer walk coming up. I think it's on Heroes Weekend or something.
Heroes Weekend, yes.
Right. And I say this, if you can't give to someone, give to a foundation, because you are helping that foundation to carry on their mission. So it's not always giving to people and you're volunteering. Just give to a foundation.
Yes. When you can't do it yourself, give it to somebody else. As someone was saying to me,
doing it for you.
Yes, someone who is sponsoring 3 kids for me. And I'm thankful for every sponsor. Let me shout out to my sponsors. All my sponsors, all the people who are sewing into our organization, who are taking care of our children. And you know, I have another child. I just remember that I got a call for a child that needs support as well. And I forgot. The person who's listening to me, I just remember, and I'm going to look into it. I have another child that needs sponsorship as well. But as I will say that, I thank all the parents, the adults, persons who have passed through the program, persons who have never gotten a seed of grain from me, anything, but they have experienced kindness from others and have decided to give through the program that I now run. And I want to big them up. Just recently, one of my sponsors, a new sponsor, because you get different sponsors every year, but I have a new sponsor that have come on board. He is family. The entire family has come on board as sponsors. And so they have taken 3 children. And that is awesome. I like when I have children from one family and then I can get a sponsor that sponsors the family. Why that matters is that sometimes sponsors give according to the best that they can do. And sometimes you have some sponsors who can do more than others. And so I might have a sponsor who can only buy a tablet, and then I get a sponsor who can buy laptops. And so in the home, you might have one child that got a tablet, one will get a phone, but the other one sponsor can buy a whole laptop and printer and all of that. And so sometimes you have among themselves, you have to encourage them and boost up the spirit that they don't feel divided or differentiated. I know it's not about them, it's about what the givers that they have are able to give. And so when I have a sponsor that comes on board that can take like 3 children from a family, it's a big thing for me. Right? It's a big thing for me. So I got this new sponsor. They came on board. They take our entire family, 3 kids, and we're going to do some work with the father as well. The mother, she can't really go out to work, so we have to support her in home because of health reasons. But the father, you know, we're going to help him to become sustainable, that he can take care of his family with pride. And so we have a family that come on board to take this family and to be their sponsors. I'm just simply the go-between. But then the gentleman asked me the question, how do you advertise for people? I said, I don't. If I did, I would be overwhelmed. I have 110, and I'm saying I'm sending 110 to school right now. And it's not because only 110 persons were referred to me. It's because it's only 110 I can afford. And so when more sponsors come on board, we take on more persons because the need is always there. But I don't advertise. I don't tell people come September what we're going to do, because most of the persons we help in September, they would have had to be on, we'd have had them before, and so by September morning they are well sorted out. Nobody's rushing to do anything. They would have gently sort themselves out, and nobody don't see crowd coming to my gate and anything like that. People have their pride, and I help them to keep it. But I say to him, people know people, and people know people who get help from somewhere. They're going to refer the person to you. And when people feel good about being helped, eventually they will tell somebody else. Because you leave them with that pride, you leave them with their integrity, you leave them with their honesty, you leave them with the right to their stories. And so they will tell somebody else who have a need. And sometimes they don't tell the person that they got help. They will tell the person, I think this person can help you. And they will send them to get a help. And so that is how, so even you, Carleen, I have told you about persons that I need help, and you reach out and you help in the ways you can. And for me, that is important, you know, in how we do what we do. And the few people that I won't tell everybody, I know that somebody needs something, because I can't trust them with people's information. You can't.
It's not only that, but you let people tell their own story. And that is what I loved about what I did right here on Fit FM when they had Willie But with Talawa. Because what that basically was about, that was kind of like me being the middleman, if you will. So I would find these organizations and I would bring them on the program to talk about what they do. What is their foundation about? So that the listeners can actually connect to that foundation and get the assistance that they need. So sometimes giving is not necessarily you physically giving to them. It's making that connection so the people who need the help can get it. And the foundations, people may think that foundations don't need assistance, but they do.
Oh,
Foundations
yes,
need
we do.
donations, they need donations so that they can continue their mission. So we talk a lot about giving to people who are in need, but let's not forget foundations who are out there doing the work, doing for us what we cannot do for ourselves, helping others that we don't have the resources to help. And so it is important that if you can, when you can, give to a foundation as well so they can continue their mission.
Amen. And there's so many organizations and foundations or they're giving, and for me, one of the amazement is that, well, it's not really amazement, but it doesn't matter how much I have given or how much persons I've created a bridge for them to receive, there's still so many persons not being helped. I know Janet Silvera have one in Montego Bay that they do through, I think it's, no, she does that as a fundraiser for Sarah's children or something like that. She have that program going. And there are a number of others. And they continue to raise funds. And guess what? The more they give is the more people are in need. So it's not what I do, it's not the only thing. But I should say to you, as you talk about your program that you had, when I came on your program, I now have 3 international sponsors, persons from foreign.
That's awesome.
Yes. I didn't even remember that. Because I don't really talk about the things I do enough. As somebody told me, and Julia tell me all the while, tell the people that Julia is always quarreling with me. But we have 3 sponsors that came on board that are now helping with my children. And when the past 2 years, when children needed laptops and tablets and all of that because of COVID, 3 sponsors that I had come on board from listening to your program were able to help me to get most of my children. A matter of fact, none of my children at this moment I can think, other than a new one that was referred to me recently. I've not finished the investigation for that one as yet. None of my children right now, if school pivots back to online, will have a challenge. They all have
that
their
is what I love. I absolutely love to hear
some
that.
of them got printers as well. And some got, can I tell you, Wi-Fi that is being paid every month.
What I say?
Directly. Yes. These 3 sponsors are paying Wi-Fi for 17 children. Just 3 sponsors, 17 children getting Wi-Fi from just these 3 sponsors. So they get the internet in their home. They don't have to tell their parents they're going to library or anything like that. Well, one of the young man kind of vexed. Because he got the Wi-Fi at home now, and then his direct sponsor have given him laptop, printer, and everything, so he can do his research online and everything. So he can't tell his mom that he's going to the library and go play with him with the guys, and him begs.
And talking and going back to the laptop and the tablets and all that. So many people, it's not again, it's macro. People see you giving 100 tablets and you're giving laptops, but are you even thinking about these kids and where data is coming from? They need data. They need it. Their little phones need to be top up. Who is going to be doing that? But because nobody's seeing those little things, nobody wants to do it. That is where I would really love people to tap into that and give the little things. It's not the laptops, it's not the computers, it's the little ability to have data.
How do they get connected?
Yes.
And that is one of the things our alumni is doing as well. For Bishop Gibson High School, we have one of our alumni. I don't want to call her name because I don't want her to beat me up because she's bigger than me. But she is in charge of connecting the girls, finding out who don't have connection, who needs Wi-Fi, who needs data on their phones to be able to connect to get the information. And so every week she reminds persons and people pay. We have right now, I think we have 30 children from our school who are getting their data every week or every month. It's paid for by the month. And so they get it monthly on their instruments. We are also presently now having a drive for Bishop Gibson High School where we are trying to get computers, laptops in the hands of the girls. And the laptops does better because it can do more work than a tablet at that level. And so we are focusing on laptops. We decided we wanted to do 20 for this school year past. We have not reached 20. And so for the next school year, we still want to do 20 again. And hopefully we'll reach 20 for this one. And we keep on giving, because guess what? When our sisters and our brothers, the younger ones, are given to, they are the ones who are going to change the face of crime and violence in this country.
Mhm.
Because when the criminal elements have nobody to draw into their army, their army will fail. But if the children don't have an alternative, they don't have anything else to do. A lot of times, they say idle dog worry sheep, and somebody will tell
And
them
a
where
deaf
the
man
sheep
with
is.
idle hand. Yeah.
Right. And somebody will bring them in. And there's another program I want to do. I have not worked out the details as it is something I have in the back of my mind. I'm hoping that we can do it in August, but I have not started to get sponsors for yet. One of my vision for right here in Trelawney, I want to see if I can get funding to maybe not pay, but give a contribution to what one of the ladies I had on my radio program last week. I have not even told her yet either. If she's listening, she's hearing this for the first time. I want to get some funding for Miss Natanish Hines. I want to do 15 girls and 15 boys.
Stop stealing my idea. That was my idea, Dr. Asha. I said I have to link up with her. Dr. Asha, that is just so awesome. I listened to the program last week and I said, I have to reach out to her. I have to get some girls. I have this one little girl. Every day she comes by my house and she calls me Auntie Carlene. And she said, Auntie Carlene. I said, what you doing at my house? She said, I come for a snack. I'm here for a snack. And so I said, go get whatever snack you want. But there was one day, I was going out to run some errands and she was out in the street. She said, where are you going? I said, I'm going to go run errands. And she said, can I come with you? And I said, absolutely. And so she came with me. I called her grandparents to let them know that she's with me. And we were driving on our way back home. I said to her, are you hungry? And she said, yes. I said, what do you want to eat? She said, wings. I'm like, from where? And she could not tell me where the place is, what the place is called. How do you get there? And I started to say to her, you know something? When you're driving with people, you got to look at road signs. You got to look at landmarks so you can tell people where you are and what you're doing. And she just burst out crying. I said, what's wrong now? She said, I don't know how to read. 8 years old, about to get in 4th grade, don't know how to read. So they're just pushing these kids in the system. And I'm saying that to say this. I was asking for some assistance and somebody said, well, doesn't the government help? The government doesn't help. You have teachers just pushing these kids through the system. And I got her a little book and I said, every day when you come, before you get your snack, you sit down with me for 20 minutes and to read. And that little girl, she was so hungry to learn that we did like lesson 1 to lesson 9 in less than an hour. That's how hungry she was. Our kids, it's not about giving money. Take young people. I'm talking to the young people. Take one of these little kids, Jamaican young people, them bright. Let me tell you, they're smart. They are so smart, Jamaican kids. What they're doing in 6th form at Herbert Morrison is what they're learning in college here in the 3rd year of college. We have some smart children in Jamaica. Take a little child, take them under your wing. You don't have to be an adult to help. Just teach them, each one. Teach them how to do something. Teach them how to read. Teach them to make what you know how to make. Teach them what you know. You know what I mean? And you don't ask. It takes an entire village to raise these children. You don't necessarily have to ask like, where is the mother? Where is the father? I don't care where the mother is.
I don't ask those questions anymore.
I don't like that. I have time to sit with this child, so I will sit with this child, regardless of where the mother is. The economy is such right now that both parents have to be out of the home working. So you don't ask those questions. If you have time to take a child and help a child, do that.
Yes. I really, because I plan to talk to Natanish about it. Even if I have to use Even if I have to use, and I'm repeating, even I have to use and appointing, even I have to use Fit FM, me and all in there. So, and bring Fit FM on board. We're going to
Yes,
find a
yes,
space,
yes.
and we want to help. I'm going to talk to Natalie. So you see, we have venue now. So I just want to talk to Natalie to work out how much contribution she will accept and see how much we can raise, because we can't pay her the amount she deserves, but I know she's the kind of person who will show up, and she'll show up and she'll do her best at every time.
Yes.
And we want, I don't want to pick the children that will come. I want to use the guidance counselors and whoever else want to come can refer to us. 15 young ladies and 15 boys. And we want to teach them. And we want to do it girls together, so boys know how to treat young ladies, and young ladies, you know.
Hello.
Yes, we want to do that.
Classy. Yes. Listen, find out from her. I'm gonna call her because I need to know. I was reading about her bio and I saw where something about Florida. I'm not sure if she has a office here or something, but that little girl I was telling you about, I remember why I told you that story, because she is someone I would love to get into a program like that. She has everything going for her. Very smart. She can tell you what kind of species of bird it is. Like math and science is her thing. And I said to her, how is it that you can do this and you don't know how to read? So when you sit down to take an exam, how do you know the instructions? How do you know what to do? She said, because the teacher read to her. So I want to get young girls like that, at that age into a program like what Natasha has, and just get them groomed from a very young age. That is crucial.
So I really want to do that. And I get to understand that she's online. Hi, Natanish. I'm glad you're online and you're here talking you behind your back without consulting with you. We're talking good things around here. There's another thing I want to do as well, and these are the things I'm putting out into the universe. So if you are listening and you can help, let me know. Let us know. I also want to teach young girls and boys. Well, I don't know how to do it. I am learning. I'm going to classes now. I'm learning how to play, oh Lord, it went straight out of my brain again. Not checkers, chess. So I'm learning to play chess now. But what I have a little baby girl at home that I help the mom with. So she is with us during the week. And so she's even in studio with us now. She's outside. But I am learning to play to how to play chess. I'm learning. So I have my chessboard set up, but that's not the one I use in class. And this little baby, she listens one evening while the gentleman was online giving me instructions. So she is listening to what I'm listening to. And then she said to me, Mommy, move. And I notice every evening she comes home, she goes into the office and she sits around the chessboard and she's trying to move the pieces and counteract. And she's not yet 3 years old. So you might think I'm talking about her young me. She's not yet 3. And I looked at her up to yesterday. I said, look at Brie. She is trying to learn. And what I go online and learn, and I'm doing it, and she's trying to replicate everything I am doing. And it says chess opens the mind and help you to be excellent thinkers. And I want also to see this gentleman that is assisting me as well. And you know, sometimes we say thanks to people who we don't know, because we have an interagency network here in Trelawney, and I put into the group, anyone know anyone that can teach chess? No one answered me in the group, but somebody connected someone to me and the person contacted me, and so now I have an instructor. And so that is it. I don't feel offended that the person, I now know who referred me because he told me who, but I don't feel offended when the person didn't say anything in the group. I respected the person for doing that, not saying anything in the group, but make sure the connection was made and the support was given. And that is how we want to work. I don't mind being the bridge you walk on to help another person. So 2 of my passions for helping our young people for this year, going into next year, is to be able to give some form of support to Natanish Hines that she can help us in doing etiquette training for our young ladies here in Trelawney. And we also want to help her that if she can get some online classes. So if it's young people are not in Trelawney and they are anywhere in Jamaica and we can get a group together and set up the classes, Miss Hines will make the sacrifice to go on, and I know her. I call her friend. She will go on and she will teach because it's her passion that Jamaicans, young girls, young boys, and anywhere you are in this world that you can find a computer screen or a phone screen or whatever it is and you can get online, Natanish will teach. She will teach. And I just listen to her when she do her sessions on Instagram, and I try to join when I can, and I go to the replays when I can't join live, and I watch them and I learn as well. And I'm now learning, trying to practice to put up my pinky, because for the years my pinky fingers have no manners. It just go out there. As soon as I take something up, it goes out. Even if I'm talking, it goes out because I talk a lot with my hands. And so I have to be learning now to, put up my pinky. And I am going online to order my stockings without toes for my open toe shoes because, more as you learn and you grow. Well, I didn't know a long time since supposed to wear these stockings, but I did ignore it because everybody else don't know. But now she tell everybody, you and everybody know, so now you have to do better. And so these are the things we want to help others to rise. But me being me, I don't necessarily want to advertise, but but I will big up Natanish now because we want the support. So if you don't want to contact me, you don't want to contact Caroline or Julia about sponsoring Natanish to do what I am asking, you can contact Natanish directly. She'll be honest enough to say, because of this, somebody reach out to her and she can help one child or two child. She will do it. And we have put off, she did tell me to remind others and I forgot. The program we're planning to do in June, we have put it off a little bit because we're watching to see what the COVID numbers are doing. So we didn't want to set a date and then regulations have changed and we can't, and we have to secure a venue and all of these things. So we have postponed that for a little bit until we know what is happening where COVID numbers are concerned. But ladies and gentlemen, your group sessions and trainings are still going to happen, and we're still hoping that you'll come on board when the time comes. However, we want to hold off a little bit. Oh my gosh. So Caroline, I noticed that we are coming down in time. However, so now you're going to reach out to Natanish and you're going to, even though you're going to talk to her about sponsoring getting her to do the trainings, we still wanted to get some sponsorship for us, for our little ladies and gentlemen that we want to sew into right here in Trelawney as well. And of course, we have venue already, so we don't have to look venue anymore, because if this venue never available, we have other people who we could have got bother. But no, we don't have to bother anyone. We have a venue. It's nice, it's comfortable, and we can get tables and chairs to borrow if we need. I know Pastor Rotty will lend us some chairs, and with the tables that Julia have and whatever tables we have, we will make up and we'll set up a nice venue, and with all our tents that we have, we can't fail. So we just need to be able to pay Natanish to do the job for us. And then when we know how that setup is, to get the young boys and young girls, and that won't be hard either. And we want to do this in August, Carly.
Okay, and this is what I'm talking about. You asked me earlier about explaining what I do and how I give and how I volunteer. These are opportunities. I don't go looking. There's no explanation to it. It's just there's a need and you want to fill the need. And it just happened just like that. We're just having a conversation, and I'm committed to finding support and sponsorship for Natanish. And that's basically what it comes down to. I don't go out searching I can't sit here and tell you, how I do anything. There's no strategy to it. It's just a heart that wants to give, and that's all. You don't have to give. You just have to want to give. And this is a prime example of that. You see, now you get me all committed to doing something that I never planned on coming here to do. That's how you roll. I
didn't even know I was going to tell you either. I didn't even
But
know I was
that's
gonna
it.
bring it up
That's it.
either. But that's how we do it.
That's so we
I just
learn.
have this passion to ensure that anywhere and one of my life motto is, and even in my bio person it is there. I remember Miss my bio, the bio that I use a lot now was not written by me, and it was written by someone who is acquainted with me, who knew me, who researched me, and she wrote my bio behind my back. And for that, I felt so good when it was read. The first time I heard it, I wondered who she talking about. And when I saw this young, because I was going to go to this school, and it was Refuge. It's Refuge. So the principal there at the time, I was going to go there to do something with the children, and she asked me for a bio. I took a little while in getting it to her, and then I sent her a little short something. And when I reached, I said, this young man to introduce me 2 page. I said, where you find so much information? Figure talk is the little someone make send that in full 1 page. But when he finished reading it, I felt very good. I felt eulogized. So when I die, I don't have to wonder what people's going to say about me. I know the bad things they might say about me already, but I also know the good that they will say. But one of the things that she
Yeah.
never missed out in my bio is that one of my goals in life is to let any corner of the world I lay my head better than I found it. That's one of
Exactly.
my goal and my
Exactly.
passion. And so the corner of the world I'm laying my head now is Trelawney, and by God's grace, intend to impact Trelawney and leave it better if I leave before I die, and if I only die. And as I say to my friends, I have no plans to die. Living is my business, where and how I die. And if I die, it's God's business. I don't get into his business. But my intention is to live until the trumpet sound, if any going sound. So I'm in the living business. And so as long as I live and I move from place to place, I intend for when I move on, that spot is better because I was there. And so that's one of
Exactly.
my
Not just the
research
spot,
things.
not just the spot, but the people who occupy the spot. Always make it your mission to change somebody's life, make somebody's life
Yeah,
better for
man.
having to know you, for knowing you. You know, that's what
Yes.
you contribute to their life. Make it a point of your duty to ensure that every life, every person you come across, you leave their life better than it was and make them better for knowing you.
It is true.
That,
And
that's
for
my
me,
mission.
the amazement of things in Carnegie is like when you go to a community for the first time, you go to a parish, you have been there, but you're going to an area you've never been before. Or even for myself, when I travel to other countries, and people who I can't really remember would come up to me and say, you don't remember me, not true. No, I don't even, I'm not even sure if I know you. And they will tell you how you impacted their life. That is amazement for me. And sometimes you impact people's lives who will never even meet you in person. But I have persons who have reached out to me for help, and I get help for them, but I never met them. And I have persons who have just heard what I do and will contact me and say, I would like to help someone through you. And so it goes either way. Carlene, I see Julia shuffling up, so I look at the clock. And girl, I
All right.
realize time is almost up. But so I'm giving you the opportunity now to speak into the heart. I will not even touch coals of fire. Oh my goodness, there's so many
We're not
other
touch
things that
coals
we
of
have not.
fire.
We not touch coals of fire. And I didn't want to talk about that, but next time you hear what Julia said, part two.
Part two. But listen, let me just wrap this up by saying I learned a little song in Chetwood Memorial, and I won't sing it for you. I won't bore you with the singing, but I will say the words of the song. It says,
Please.
whatsoever you do to the what do you mean, please don't sing. It says, whatsoever you do to the least of brothers, that you do unto me. I'm saying that you don't know who you're helping. You don't know whose lives you're impacting. Just do it. Just do it. You know, just be kind. Be kind to yourselves and be kind to each other. Before I go, let me just say happy birthday to my sister real quick. You know, I told her to listen. I know she's listening. So happy birthday, Veronica. Hope your day is going great. Love you. See you soon.
Yes. And I want to say to you, if you're listening to me this evening as well, my inspirational moment is simply saying to you, live on purpose. Be gentle and kind with yourself. Take that step that you need to take. Follow your heart and head out. Some days you tiptoe. Sometimes you move fast. Sometimes quickly strong steps. Just keep going forward. and you will get there.
Amen.
Sister Carlene, thanks for sitting down with us this evening. My listeners, you're listening to Carlene Street, my guest, and I am your host, Dr. Asha Mwendo, and it is Healing Moments on Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music. Remember, if you want, Carlene, tell the people if you're single,
Oh, what was the vote? Who voted? Who won? Single available. What I'm saying?
They don't say nothing. Them gonna listen and wait.
Oh,
But I just get a reminder. Somebody just send me a reminder that the person will tell me what they think. They just tell me that they don't tell them.
Well, for those who said that I am not available, you are correct. I am not available.
So you're here.
You guys.
So she's not available, but I'm not sure. So if it is single and not available or whatever, and if it can change her mind, I don't know. But she's not available, people. So she's not asking anybody to call her and propose any dating.
You know, when I'm donations, I'm not refusing no donations.
As you said, don't date, but you can call to give. One evening we'll talk about dating. I am overdue in talking about dating, but we're not going to talk about dating. I'll invite Carlene to come sit down with me. But one of these evenings we're going to talk about dating and the importance of dating. Dating is extremely important. I want us to think about that. So, Carlene, my sister, walk good, stay blessed. And of course, we'll continue our conversation behind the scenes. I love you. My listeners, stay good until next week when we have you moving in here. Blessings.
Love y'all. Jagai.